fearful of going out to that area to play.
Welcome to
Thank you very much, Press Secretary. Good morning to all the media houses and personnel present here this morning, and those of you listening live, of course, via radio, television, online. A pleasant good morning. It is a pleasure to be here this morning and, of course, to update you on some matters arising within the Ministry of Legal Affairs and also within the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs and Local Government. I will begin with the Ministry of Legal Affairs. It was sometime last year, as you may recall, the decision was taken after much consideration to vacate the court plant at the Lime Building on the Carriacou, of course, due to many reasons. Since then, the Ministry of Legal Affairs and the Grenada Bar Association and other stakeholders, including the police, would have formed ourselves into a committee whose task was essentially to find a suitable interim accommodation to house our courts and, of course, the court reporting unit and some of our administrative staff. The committee, the Ministry of Legal Affairs, as well as the Ministry of Infrastructure Development, have been working quite diligently over the past few months to resolve this vexing issue. You may also recall sometime back, it was announced a couple months ago that the second and third floor of the Carriacou building on Young Street was identified to accommodate our court plant. Of course, in the interim, while we work on a long-term solution to this issue. In this regard, I am happy to report that government is currently in possession of the second floor of the Carriacou building, and that work has commenced effecting the necessary repairs and retrofitting of that particular space. As a matter of fact, the second floor is completely gutted and repaired, and arrangements are ongoing to retrofit same. The contractor contracted to do the work has been working and will be working around the clock to ensure that the space and the court is delivered in the quickest possible time. The second floor of the Carriacou building will house the two civil courts and the court reporting unit, and the third floor will house the two criminal courts for now. With respect to the third floor, it is anticipated that government will be in possession of same within the next week or so. Arrangements are presently being finalized to secure alternative accommodation for the remaining staff of Carriacou, who currently occupies the third floor. And so very soon, within the next week or so, work will commence on the third floor with the same sense of urgency as now pertains on the second floor. It is clear that the justice system, the legal system has went through and is going through some very difficult and trying times. As you are also aware that these challenges with our courts infrastructure intensified with the passage of Hurricane Ivan in 2004, which destroyed all of our courthouses. Since then, we have made tremendous strides, but we still have a lot more to do. As a government and as the Minister for Legal Affairs, we are acutely aware of the challenges and the inconvenience this unsettling period has caused and is continuing to cause to many. ranging from the loss of income to some attorneys, and of course, the delay in hearing important matters for members of the public. I want to take this opportunity to thank the members and the executive of the Grenada Bar Association, the staff at the Supreme Court Registry, and the general public for their continued cooperation and assistance and support thus far. Also, our resident judges must also be commended during this difficult time because they found innovative ways to continue the work of our courts. Of course, government remains committed to ensuring that our justice system remains fully functional and intact, and that the proper administration of justice is not compromised in any way. The use of the CLICO building to house our court, as indicated before, is an interim medium-term measure while we continue to work towards realizing our dream and our goal, and that is to have our halls of justice or legal complex. Cabinet, as you know, appointed a subcommittee a little while now to pursue this project. The committee continues to meet on a regular basis, and so far we have reviewed some of the existing proposals. We have looked at also new ones, some of the drawings, the designs, and of course possible locations for our halls of justice. So very soon we will be engaging in all the stakeholders, that would mean the Bar Association and of course the general public, before taking these proposals to Cabinet for approval and for further recommendation. It is no doubt that the situation with the court would have created a backlog in the number of cases waiting to be dealt with in the system. And of course, whilst our efforts will return a sense of normalcy to the system once we have our courts up and running, our 4 courts, considerations are being given to having 2 additional courts, 1 civil and 1 criminal court, to deal with the backlog that we've had as a result of the closure of some of our courts. In fact, we're looking to have a total of 6 courts operating in Grenada. Consideration is also being given to have a resident master here in Grenada rather than one who visits once per month for a week. We believe that this will play a crucial role in resolving pending case management matters and interim and other applications that are pending before the court. I am also happy to report that Cabinet recently would have approved the appointment of 2 judicial research assistants. These persons or assistants will work along with our judges. They would be responsible for conducting legal research, case briefing, reviewing legal documents, and preparing drafts of judgments for review by the judges, and many other things. This has been a recommendation for a while now from our Chief Justice, and it is expected with the addition of these 2 judicial research assistants that judgments will be delivered in a more timely manner. And it was only last week that government facilitated the attendance of the judicial research assistants to a training program in St. Lucia, which was offered by the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. That training was facilitated by the Honorable Chief Justice herself. Additionally, Cabinet also approved the appointment of a transcriptionist to bolster the court reporting unit. As you may recall as well, some concerns have been raised about the transcripts of completed court matters not being ready or available for appeal purpose. And you may know that once a transcript is not available, then in some instances the appeal cannot go forward, especially some criminal matters. So this additional transcriptionist that were recently appointed would of course give added support to the work of the department and thereby reducing the backlog in the number of appeal matters waiting to be heard before the Court of Appeal. Moving over to the Supreme Court Registry, we've also experienced some challenges there recently, especially at the Deeds and Land Registry. Currently, we have an acting deputy registrar installed there, and presently administrative arrangements are currently being put in place, to ensure the appointment of an acting registrar beginning next month. Government Cabinet had already approved late last year a Deeds and Land project. And this was essentially to deal with some of the issues that have been identified by the members of the Grenada Bar Association and the general public at the Deeds and Land Registry. Some of these issues related to the integrity of the title searches coming from the registry that were affecting, of course, commercial and other transactions. Our acting registrar now is slated to commence work on this project, and this is expected as soon as the new acting registrar take up work next month. So under this project, staff will be trained. That staff at the Deeds and Land Registry will be trained in best practicing in, of course, processing and recording of deeds, and a procedural manual will be developed to guide staff in their execution and roles and functions as it relates to the processing of deeds. It was last September, you may recall, that an amendment to the Conveyancing and Law of Property Act was passed, and the same was gazetted in October. This amendment sought to cut down the search time at the Deeds and Land Registry regarding good title to property from 60 to 30 years. This amendment will take effect from the beginning of next month. Now, as a consequence of the tremendous amount of searches, which usually takes place at the Deeds and Land Registry, imagine if one has to search a title 60 years back, one would assume that it would entail a lot of searches. And what happened is that because of the volume of searches that normally takes place, most of the index books containing the relevant information over the years have become dilapidated, and there are complaints from lawyers, from members of the public, that the records were in fact inconclusive. So this amendment, we believe, will greatly enhance that situation at the registry. It would improve, of course, the overall efficiency at the registry, and of course it will also maintain the integrity of the entire system. So, our several attempts really, in truth and in fact, are now coming to fruition. The parts and the pieces are indeed coming together. The ministry and the government, of course, will not rest until we bring back a sense of normalcy in our judicial system. And I personally want to assure the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique that all the facets of the judicial system are getting the attention at the highest level and is presently being addressed. Just quickly over to the sister island of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. As you know, we are getting ready for our annual Maroon and String Band Music Festival on the weekend, which runs from the 26th to the 28th of April. This year's celebration or festival will be celebrated under the theme, Deeply Rooted in Our Tradition, Remaining True to Our Culture. As you know, the Maroon Festival is a festival in which we celebrate our ancestors, in which we offer thanks for the last harvest, and of course giving thanks for good fortune during the upcoming season. I want to take this opportunity to extend a warm invitation to all of you, all the listeners, the entire mainland Grenada, to come up to Carriacou over the weekend and to be a part of this cultural experience. It is the place where you would find the best food, the best tasting roll cuckoo and roll rice and stew peas and stew pork and everything that is Saraka. So it will be a remarkable experience. You would also find the sweetest the sweetest string band music, and of course a friendly atmosphere with great vibes, great food, great music. We will have many local and regional groups that will be participating. That's cultural groups that will be participating, and I'm certain that you will not want to miss this extravaganza. Also, the villages of Brunswick and Six Roads will also be having their village maroon. So again, if you really want to taste that Carriacou cuckoo and roll rice, then Carriacou is a place to be on the weekend. Additionally, over the weekend, we'll be staging, of course, our Carriacou's Masters Tournament. This year, over 12 teams will be participating in that tournament. Recently, we have seen a tremendous growth in the number of teams participating in this competition. This is anticipated event has now become a fixture on the sporting calendar for the sister island. So we welcome all the teams that have been arriving and is to arrive here in the state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Again, I am extending a warm invitation to all to come to Carriacou and to experience an unforgettable experience. Just quickly, during the Easter vacation, we were able to send off 15 young persons throughout Carriacou and Petite Martinique to participate in the STC training over in Trinidad. This is a basic safety at sea training, and it is a training that most persons or young persons in Carriacou and Petite Martinique really value. As a matter of fact, we would have received in excess of over 100 applications just from Carriacou and Petite Martinique. As you know, especially the people of Petite Martinique, we live primarily out of the sea, and so we've had numerous amount of applications coming from Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Out of that, we were only able to select 15 participants to attend that training, and it is the hope that on their return that they will be able to, of course, utilize that opportunities in the best way possible to ensure that they upgrade themselves, of course, and their family in finding suitable employment. So that's it for me with respect to what is happening over the weekend in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and of course some of the recent developments that took place within the Ministry of Legal Affairs. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Press Secretary Robinson, and good morning to you, members of the media, and to all viewers and listeners, island-wide and throughout the World Wide Web. It's a pleasure to be here again. And just to start off from where Minister left off, that is our sister isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and I'm pleased to announce that we are pretty close, or closer to seeing the realization of the construction of the new Emergency Operations Center and warehouse for Carriacou and Petite Martinique. As you know, we would have announced sometime before that the U.S. Southern Command have graciously donated for Carriacou and Petite Martinique a warehouse, new warehouse, and emergency shelter, as well as for the mainland on Grenada. Just about a week ago, we received the RFP, or the request for proposal from Southern Command, and our technical team are now finalizing the document for transmittal to the U.S. Southern Command. So, as I've said, we're pretty closer to seeing actual boots on the ground. And I must take this opportunity to say a special thank you to the U.S. Southern Command for continuing the commitment to the development of not just mainland Grenada, but the 3 states, and as well as to build capacity for us in the area of disaster management, so we'll be able to respond adequately when the needs to arise. The second issue that I'd like to present this morning is that of Cabinet would have approved the development of a national quality policy and also the steering committee to ensure that this come into fruition. Just by way of background, the CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality, CROSSQ, was established as a result of Article 67 of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas to facilitate regional cooperation and integration among member states in quality infrastructure and to support national efforts and promote efficiency and competitive production in goods and services in the region through the process of standardization and the verification of quality. CRFM is a network of 15 national standard bodies in Carriacou, and since its inception has been actively involved in coordinating the development of a regional quality infrastructure. CRFM has received financing from the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, to fund a quality infrastructure project, strengthening of regional quality infrastructure. One of the components of this project is the development of a national quality policy. As a result, three member states, namely Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, and Suriname, were highlighted and recommended to become the first piloting nations for this regional entity. For the implementation of the project, the Grenada Bureau of Standards has been appointed to be Grenada's National Quality Policy Project Secretariat. Also, a National Steering Committee, as I've said before, to be established, and today I want to present to the media and to Grenada and the world, of course, the National Steering Committee, which has been approved by my cabinet. And just to give you the names of those persons who have been identified and the ministry or department that they're coming from, we have from the Ministry of Trade, the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Aaron Francois, and he will be the chairman of the steering committee. Ms. Alison Hall, and she's from the Grenada Tourism Authority. Ms. Nicole Moultrie, and she's from the Ministry of Health. Mr. Govindra Shah Ramnath, and he's from the Ministry of Works. Ms. Pettifer Lewis Smith, Grenada Chamber of Industry and Commerce, and Mr. Sheldon Noel, Policy Unit, Ministry of Finance. So, this committee has been working to ensure that we put in place what it takes to the development of this national quality policy. I must also inform this House, or this, just came from the Senate, so I could understand, to inform you, the media, that on the 18th of March, 2019, we had the launch of CRFM, of the national policy in Grenada, and officials from CRFM was here for this national launch. So we're looking forward to the realization and the objective that has been set by the CARICOM towards a roadmap for quality standards within the region. The other issue that I want to bring to the attention of the media this morning and the nation, some time ago, last year in particular, we spoke quite a lot as it relates to the transformation of the T.A. Mariche Community College. And just by way of background, in October 2016, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the government of Grenada, TAMCC, the Pinto Foundation, and McMaster University. And they collaborated and agreed on a working arrangement to build capacity and resources with a view to the TAMCC developing on a self-sustaining basis into the top educational institution of its type in the Caribbean. The agreement, which represents a non-binding expression of intent between them, or the parties, and whose sole purpose is to lay out the guidelines for a working relationship between the parties to execute a 5-year project to build capacity and resources for TAMCC. So this has been ongoing since, as I've said, 2016. Within the MOU, objectives were set, and basically to ensure, as I've said, that one, we build capacity within TAMCC, with the understanding that new standards of leadership is important, governance, faculty development, student experience, curriculum review, and operations are expected to be normative and sustained on the strength of internal resources following the developmental period. So as I said, this developmental period, or the MOU, has a lifespan of 5 years. Key to achieving the objectives under the MOU, it is important to note that the government of Grenada had the responsibility for financing the operations within the state. So the appointment of a new president, the ensuring that the building of a new commons for TAMCC, and the operations within the state on a whole. Petner Foundation would have pledged $1 million, and that was targeted towards ensuring that the faculty development would be done, and that money was to be paid directly to McMaster University, who was responsible for that development of the faculties and the curriculum and the likes and so forth. A steering committee was established, and part of their remit was to ensure that the recruitment of the president, a suitable qualified person to be the president of TAMCC, was done. And the search went on, and we were able to, agreement was signed with Knightbridge Robertson Surety, a firm out of Canada, to recruiting that person to be the president. And the search was done, and one, Ms. Judeline Innocent, was identified from all the persons that they would have interviewed as the most suitable and qualified person to take up that position. The appointment of the president had to be agreed on by all parties. This was done, as a matter of fact, in information that was presented to Cabinet, which Cabinet approved, and looking at the candidate that was before us, we readily accepted. It is important to note that the appointment of the new president was to be effective in July 15th of 2018. Between the time of recruiting and for the appointment, a number of things would have transpired in between. There are some requirements that government had to satisfy to bring in the appointed person here. As a matter of fact, she's from Canada. And two critical issues that we had to satisfy was, one, a pension plan, and two, medical insurance. And there are certain values that was expected. Given that what is offered in Grenada is not comparable with what you will find in Canada. That was one of the big drawbacks we had up front. And we had to find a way towards fixing this to ensure that the preferred choice, the candidate, will not be disadvantaged leaving Canada and coming here. So we were working assiduously towards ensuring that we are able to satisfy the requirement that she put on the table, and rightly so. Spending 27 years of my life in the insurance industry, I understand what it is to being adequately compensated for your time and effort, but most importantly, to have the backing, knowing that should you become ill or so, you have a medical insurance to protect you. And secondly, when your working days are over, you have a compensation package in terms of your pension that you will feel comfortable with. So I understand this. As a matter of fact, I pledge support towards helping in this regard. But we were never able to find in locally. And there is a challenge. We try to source from outside towards getting those requirements fulfilled. We were not able to do that. But in the interim, while this was going on, we then heard from Ms. Innocent that 2 offers was made to her. One with a substantial compensation package that we could never in any way would have been able to to compete. And although we would have tried other opportunities where we can raise to complement or supplement our salaries via consultation and the likes and so forth, we were not able to even compete with what was offered. We then receive a resignation letter from her stating that she would have to pull out from being the preferred candidate for the president of TAMCC. We still continue to fight. We ask her to reconsider, and we continue to still look and hoping that something will work out. But that didn't happen, and she finally decided, well, she would have to move on. It has been government's commitment towards the upgrade of TAMCC, because we know the value of TAMCC and the students who pass through this institution. The development of our students is the development of Grenada, and this has been our constant drive. And although we were not able to attract that candidate to fulfill what she was asking for, we did not give up. We continue to still fight. By virtue of a letter dated the 29th of March this year, we got correspondence from the Petner Foundation indicating the desire to withdraw from the MOU. That, again, we did not give up on, but felt that we could find some way to make this thing work. Because ultimately, it is the desire of this government for the development of TAMCC. So the 29th of March 2019, as the stamp from the Ministry of Education Department of Receipts, the letter would have been written before, but at the time that the registry would have received it, and based on the stamp here. So as it is right now, the MOU, Petner would have indicated that they're withdrawing from the MOU. We have lost the preferred candidate, but we still have TAMCC, and we still have a TAMCC to build. And government will continue to look for partners out there to partner with us for the restructuring and development of TAMCC. That is our commitment to this people, the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martinique. It's a commitment to our students, and we will not rest until we are able to satisfy this pledge that we have made to them. So, that's it for now.
Good morning, everyone. Nisha Paul, the New Today newspaper. Mr. Garway, can you tell us what were the reasons advanced by Petner for pulling out of the MOU?
Okay, the most critical one is not being able to attract the desired candidate as the president for the dances. Oh, sorry. Yes. So, yeah, the main reason for pulling out is Grenada's inability to attract the desired candidate, Ms. Innocent, to take up the position of president of TAMCC. That's the main reason. They would have applauded very positive outcomes achieved by McMaster University through the faculty and student-focused activities initiated at TAMCC. But the implementation of the broader objectives of the MOU requires a level of leadership and sustained commitment which has so far not materialized. And I'm reading from the letter to you. I could also say the Petner Foundation has acted throughout in the spirit of partnership. The point is, we were not able to secure that person, and that has been the major gripes.
Okay, can you provide a first name, a full name for the individual, and also can you explain what were some of the requirements that were out of government's reach to fulfill?
Okay, as I've said before, her name is, let me just make sure that I get it correctly, Judeline Innocent. That is the correct name. And government was unable to provide the adequate rating of insurance for Ms. Innocent. That is the pension program as well as the health insurance program. That's primarily what we were unable to achieve.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a question for Ms. Minister. You spoke of the appointment of a new registrar. Can you at this point tell us who that person or who the candidates are?
As I indicated, that administrative arrangements are presently being put in place to ensure that we have an acting registrar at the Supreme Court Registry. I wish not at this stage to disclose the name of that person, but that will be done once the person is so appointed.
Okay. Can you tell us, you also spoke about the CLICO building being retrofitted and so on. Can you tell us the time span for it to be completed and who has been contracted to do the work?
Well, as indicated, a contractor was contracted to do the work, and the contractor has been working and will be working around the clock to deliver the retrofitted space in the quickest possible time. The quickest possible time would be what we're looking at, bearing in mind our present circumstances. Previously, I would have indicated that we were really working towards ensuring that we have all our 4 courts up and operating at the beginning of the new law term in September. But hopefully, there's a glimmer of hope that probably could happen prior to that time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Just to go back and to broaden on the answer to the first question you've asked, Ms. Paul, probably I should have read the paragraph before the one I read as well. Said the decision has been taken with all due consideration, and that is to withdraw from the MOU with a large measure of regret. After 2 years, we still do not have the requisite leadership renewal at MCC, in spite of a stellar candidate having been identified by the mutually agreed upon selection committee. In addition, there has been no progress on the advancement or development of a new learning commons. We believe these to be essential requirements for the success of the program. So you can hinge and say this basically is the straw that broke the camel's back, not being able to have both of those things.
Okay, so just to follow up, I don't know if I missed it, but can you speak to what's the next step now that we have lost the funding and so?
Well, now that we have lost the Petner McMaster partnership, Petner $1 million into McMaster for development of faculty training and the likes and so forth. As I've said before, government, it's a commitment of government for the development of the MCC, because we know the importance of it for the overall development of this country. So we'll continue to look out there for partners who will come in to work with us to achieve this objective.
I have another question.
Let's just see if there are any other journalists in the room with questions. Do you have more questions?
Good morning. Akeisha Felix, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. As it relates to the investigation into the shrimp farm, as mentioned a couple of weeks ago by the Prime Minister, can you shed some light on this for us, please?
Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to proffer any further information on this investigation. I believe that once the information is completed, that the necessary reports and statements will be made to the public in due time.
Okay, thank you. All right, so for the Carriacou Maroon and String Band Festival, the GTA would have pledged $30,000 towards the festival. Can we get a figure as it relates to government's, contribution, so to speak?
Well, for this year, government has pledged in excess of $50,000 towards the staging of the annual Carriacou Maroon and String Band Music Festival. This is in addition to the other support as we have given and continue to give to the festival's board and to the committee in their preparation for the staging of the game. So, for instance, we were able to assist in the preparation of the Bel Park. We've caused extensive repairs to happen at some of the existing structures there in terms of the lighting, the cleaning, the entire preparation of the venue was led by a team from the Ministry of Carriacou and Diplomatic Affairs. And we continue in terms of transportation, in terms of tents, in terms of chairs. We continue to support the festivals through the festivals board in that regard. Thank you.
We can come back to you.
Thank you. I have a question regarding, I would like to know why a statement was not issued from the government on the passing of Justice Redhead. And, well, it's actually, the question has two parts. And why wasn't anyone represented or the government represented at his funeral?
Unfortunately, we don't seem to be aware of that. We can probably look into it, but I don't think either of us here at the table were aware, and thus we were unable to.
Of his passing or of why a statement wasn't issued?
Well, of his passing. I personally.
What I can say, I know of the passing of Sir Alistair McIntyre recently. I'm not sure of the Redhead. And government, of course, Prime Minister would have issued a statement, and an arrangement has been made as it relates to having someone to be there at his funeral. So those are, government has continued to ensure that when former state officials would have passed, to be there, be represented, and to make whatever contribution is required of government. So this is something that we have constantly been doing, will continue to do, so long as we have the information.
Okay, and my final question is, Minister, you spoke of the second floor of the CLICO building. You said that government is in possession of the that section, and you said it would be used for the civil courts and court administration, right?
The second floor will house 2 civil courts and the court reporting unit.
Okay, so what are the plans for the third floor and for the third floor of the building?
As indicated, the third floor will house the 2 criminal courts. We are not yet in possession of the third floor. As indicated, we are just finalizing arrangements to secure the third floor. The remaining CLICO staff still occupies the third floor, and we believe that within the next week or so we'll be able to be in possession of the third floor. Additionally, we're also looking to see if we can have, or if there will be sufficient space to put the mediation center as well. But as indicated, other spaces, we continue, the committee, the government, the Ministry of Legal Affairs, the Ministry of Infrastructure Development continues to look for available spaces because its intention is to, of course, have at least 6 courts operating here in Grenada.
Rakisha St. Louis, Government Information Service, Minister Matthew and Stewart. I'm just doing a follow-up. You mentioned you spoke about the backlog and record books being dilapidated and that being a cause for concern. I remember some time ago that we were talking about e-filing and doing things electronically. Can you provide an update on that, please?
Yes, we are working on that simultaneously as well. We believe that having regards to our era, that things, of course, at the registry should be done electronically, and we are moving in that direction. I am not in a position to give you any concrete update as to where we are, but I can tell you that it's something that is still on the table and something that we are working towards achieving.
Do we have any further questions?
Can you tell us who the new stenographer is? I know you made mention of the appointing a new one to do the transfer. Sorry, yes. Yes.
I cannot recall her name presently.
But she is already installed.
Yes, Cabinet would have approved her appointment.
Okay. Can you tell us how long is it like until the appointment? How long is the appointment for?
The appointment in the first instance would be for 2 years.
For 2 years?
Yes.
And the new Solicitor General, can you speak to her appointment as well, please?
Yes, sure. As you're aware, the Ministry of Legal Affairs have had the addition of Solicitor General in the person of Ms. Dia Forrester. Ms. Dia Forrester comes in highly qualified and highly experienced, having over 12 years in the legal practice. She spent and worked a considerable amount of time out of the jurisdiction, particularly in St. Kitts and Nevis, where she was a partner at a law firm there. So she comes with youth on her side, and with a wealth of experience and, of course, knowledge. I can say that she's a very, very brilliant young lady, and have already added great value to the work at the Ministry of Legal Affairs. So the team at Legal Affairs, of course, welcomes her, and we look forward, of course, to great representation by her. Thanks.
Just in follow-up, a press release would have been issued on the appointment of the Solicitor General, which contains some of her background and experience. I believe it's 2 years, but we can verify and get back to you on that. Any final questions?
Minister, can you give an update or tell us when would work start at the landfill in Dumfries?
Well, work have already started. Sorry, work have already started on the landfill in Dumfries. We have cleared a significant amount of area around the landfill in preparation for the fencing and other stuff to be done. We also very soon will commence construction of the main road leading on to the Dumfries area. So the truth is that work has started, and work will continue to ensure that we deal with that issue there at our landfill.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Minister, again, can you tell me what are the plans, or how are plans been coming along for the Hillsborough port?
With respect to the Hillsborough port, one of the main reason for the movement away from Hillsborough to Harvey Vale, and of course the creation of a beautiful port facility, was the state, the condition of the Hillsborough jetty. As a matter of fact, it was deemed to be unsafe for use, and so all use have been restricted with respect to that area. The plan is to have the jetty demolished, because of course it's a hazard as it is presently now, and we are working towards that. But prior to its demolition, we also will be erecting a a smaller jetty closer to the Hillsborough fish market. Of course, all the fishermen and the other persons will have access to land their fish and, of course, to retrieve the ice and the other things necessary for fishing. So we are in that stage in terms of getting the additional jetty for the fishermen at Hillsborough before we have the demolition of the Hillsborough port jetty.
All right, I think that brings us to the end of this morning's post-cabinet press briefing. Thank you, as always, to members of the media for the questions that you posed this morning. I hope we see some very good, accurate, balanced reporting. To the ministers, thank you very much for joining us and for facilitating the press briefing this morning. To our listeners and viewers, thank you too for tuning in. We hope to see you again next week. I am Press Secretary Philomena Robertson. Until then.
On Friday, May 10th, the most anticipated food and drink event is upon us again as the RGPF Police Week Comedy presents Food Fest 2019. Pearls Strip is the venue as the clubs of the RGPF join forces with the Grenada Customs, Her Majesty's Prison, and the Grenada Airports Authority, and will all compete for culinary supremacy. From 12 midday, food goes on sale. Each participating club will prepare and present a variety of local dishes, which will be judged and critiqued based on taste, presentation, use of ingredients, and applied knowledge. I'm telling you, these guys and girls could cook. And as evening simmers in, the action gets turned up with music, top DJs, artists, live band, queen and king contestant appearances. Food Fest 2019, Pearls Strip, Friday, 10th May. The perfect family event. Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
On Friday, May 10th, the most anticipated food and drink event is upon us again as the RGPF Police Week Comedy presents Food Fest 2019. Pearls Strip is the venue as the clubs of the RGPF join forces with the Grenada Customs, Her Majesty's Prison, and the Grenada Airports Authority, and will all compete for culinary supremacy. From 12 midday, food goes on sale. Each participating club will prepare and present a variety of local dishes, which will be judged and critiqued based on taste, presentation, use of ingredients, and applied knowledge. I'm telling you, these guys and girls could cook. And as evening simmers in, the action gets turned up with music, top DJs, artists, live band, queen and king contestant appearances. Food Fest 2019, Pearls Strip, Friday, 10th May. The perfect family event.
Continuing your employment, then our work-study loan is for you. Our special student loan is in collaboration with the government of Grenada, geared towards vulnerable persons who would like to pursue higher level education. Remember, you must have proof of admission from a recognized institution here at home or abroad. All our loans are 100% financing with interest rates as low as 5%. Get your funding from GDB today for your tertiary level education, your technical training or vocational training, even professional development, with up to 12 years to repay. Your future success is today. Grab it now.
Clean hands save lives. Keeping hands clean is one of the most important steps we can take to avoid getting sick and spreading germs to others. It is best to wash your hands with soap and clean running water for 20 seconds. However, if soap and clean water are not available, use an alcohol-based product to clean your hands. Alcohol-based hand sanitizers significantly reduce the number of germs on skin and are fast-acting. Follow these simple steps when using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. 1. Apply product to the palm of your hand. 2. Rub hands together. And 3. Rub the product over all surfaces of hands and fingers until hands are dry. This is a message from the Ministry of Health.
Celebrating. Some wicked politics do they playing, but only my people will do such thing, cause the blind could see such an existing. So to all them politics.
Good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
And it is Hard Talk, 6 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock on a very busy Wednesday morning on the Isle of Spice. Slightly overcast conditions, but still loving the weather. And we say a very special good morning to all of you visiting the Spice Isle. Those of you about to depart from the Isle of Spice, we say a very special, gracious Grenadian good morning to each and every one of you. Well, at least the other 54 minutes that remain in the morning, and then you could take the rest of the evening and the night too. All right, nice, good. Yeah, Devon, so how has it been?
Quiet. Very
So I'm guessing you didn't go to Vaughan Turns 23 last night, V23.
No. Vaughan too young for me.
You ain't going in them thing there?
Well, yeah.
You might go, but you ain't forcing during the work week.
No, at all.
Yeah, if that is any indication of what the carnival is going to be like, I think we're going to have, how the younger people say, the carnival going to be lit?
Yeah, it will be epic.
Yeah, it going to be a movie. Yeah, very interesting though, very interesting. And we say a very special good morning to the staff down there at the National Insurance Scheme. Yes. Very special, gracious Grenadian good morning for you all, yeah? They can't pay us, you know. They can't pay us. Yeah, or they can't pay us. They can't pay us.
NIS is in its, how many years, Sheldon?
You asking me? You should be telling me.
82 or 83, up to this point in time. NIS is getting old, you know. Pretty old. You know, that's good.
Boy, that's not old, boy. It's just getting refined.
Yeah, it's
can't think of this man and them, boy.
Aging liquor.
It's like I have a certain partner to see people only talking about the young man, and me and the man is the same age, you know. He does dye grey, I do dye more grey. The 1 or 2 grey I have there, you understand? Yeah, me ain't cross 45 yet.
Young chaps.
Yeah, his children still, man. Mommy milk on we face.
Good morning, Grenada, and good morning to all of you who have just joined us on the live. Pleasant Grenadian morning.
I know it's been a while. We said good morning to Miss Bernice and Miss Clytie. Yeah, we know they're up on the ridge there, Richmond Hill, Monjalou. Good morning to you, Miss Clytie Pierre. We hope that you're having a wonderful day, and good morning to Roger and the entire home circle. Hope all of you are having a fabulous day today. Good morning to you, Miss Bernice, up there in Richmond Hill. We do hope that you're having a fabulous day today. Miss Bernice, you know, up to now, I've never seen Miss Bernice, you know. Yeah, Ria, organize, let's go and see Miss Bernice, huh? Nice. Yeah, we say a special good morning to Nenny and to Auntie Ruth.
Yes, Auntie Ruth. Good morning. Ruth. Special good morning.
I had to say a special good morning to each and every one of them. Yeah. To our listeners, wherever you are, in whichever part of Grenada. Yeah, I was testing the signal over the weekend, but yeah. Handling.
We're handling, man.
Handling. Yeah.
And good morning to the bus drivers and conductors of our nation, wherever you are, the different bus terminals, plying routes, and so wherever you are, It's a beautiful Grenada morning.
And so this morning we've had a Parliament sitting, and we also had the post-cabinet press briefing. So we've had a Senate sitting this morning, as well as a press briefing, both of which I was unable to follow because I had another meeting this morning, so I couldn't follow both of them. So I can't tell you what took place at the Parliament sitting. What we're going to do is we are going to attempt to obtain the full audio of today's sitting. We will attempt to obtain that as soon as possible. In fact, Parliament just adjourned a little after 11. We're going to attempt to obtain the audio of today's Parliament sitting, and even if later today or immediately after the program tomorrow, we'll play today's Parliament sitting. You know, we don't hide nothing from you. We want you to hear everything for yourself, because there are people in this country who have a hearing and comprehension problem. Sometimes they listen, but they don't hear. Yeah? There's a difference, eh? They listen, but they don't hear. Did you teach that in primary school, Devon? Yeah. They listen, but they don't hear. I think, in fact, just now, I think we have to make the Students' Companion compulsory reading. And we want no new Students' Companion. We want the one from the 1970s.
Yeah, the 70s and the 70s, not even the 80s.
Not even the 80s. We want the Students' Companion from the 1970s. Yeah, that they talk about things like oral hygiene and all them kind of thing too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we need to get a Students' Companion.
Bring back the old time.
We ain't want the West Indian reader. The West Indian reader had some kind of racist thing in between it there and all kind of thing, colonial thing.
Yeah, it was designed to basically...
stick us in a kind of thing there. But the Students' Companion, we go take a chance with that. Yeah. That one had some serious... half of them people are listening, they don't even know what we're talking about. The people and them about 30... Yeah, but now, boy.
30 days,
in the 30s, boy. Had to be 40s.
Yeah,
40s and above go understand what we're talking about when we say Students' Companion.
Yeah, you barely know about it, so...
Nah, man. Don't get it up, boy. I had my Students' Companion. In fact, I had my sister's Students' Companion from the 1970s. So I used to have my sister's Students' Companion.
That was the way to go in and hand down.
Yeah.
We didn't try to buy books every year.
Buy.
And that sort of thing.
No.
Hand down.
Students' Companion, yeah? Yes, Hannah, that's why I saw. Yeah, I didn't have a choice today. I had to, try and look at something. Yeah, you understand how it does go sometime.
Hannah, what's up with them plums, girl? I love plums, you know. Those red plums.
That's some plums next door. I see a bag of plum there. I don't know who bring it, but we gonna murder that later.
But yeah, you look so.
Yeah, no, we can't talk loud. The next thing they hear us.
In vision, yeah, we
can't. Go and hide the plum.
Don't talk too loud.
Don't play all the way and hide plum. That's why I used to like Easter, go by my grandfather in Trinidad. I used to go by my grandfather and read the plum tree.
A red plum.
Together with the tamarind tree and the guava tree. Yeah, I just used to read all the fruit trees. I don't just put it like that. I used to read all the trees. Yeah.
And we have two types of plum in Grenada, the red and the yellow.
Yeah, but the red one.
The red one.
We ain't going to eat hog plum. We eating hog plum.
That's not hard plum.
Not the hog plum. You're talking about the other one.
Yeah, the other one, the Chinese plum.
Chinese plum. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I thought you was talking about hog plum.
No. That boy, this thing we sit down and suck that.
Hog plum is a trap manico. Hog plum, you know the hog plum tree is?
You don't get a sweet hog plum yet?
Yeah. What do that, man, boy? Hog plum is a trap manico.
But no, that is good plum to eat. And they tell us about, when you suck that and you walk in the sun, you go knock you down. Whatever.
But them old people know this to talk about. But everyone, post-cap this morning, we had the Honorable Kendra Matthew and Stewart. I think it's the first time we've seen on the post-cap or second?
I think it's the first time.
I'm trying to remember. I think it may have been the first time she's been on the post-cap. As I said, I didn't get the opportunity to follow it. She spoke about the not Parliament building, but the court building. The
court building.
What is taking place with that and so on.
Yeah, she gave an outline as to where government is when it comes to the whole court system, and she also praised the judges and magistrates and so who have been very patient and so with the system, still continuing to do what needs to be done when it comes to the cases that have to be tried and so making a special effort to meet government halfway on that, because it's not just a problem where it's government, it's a problem that needs to be tackled generally. Government is just one of the players, right, within that whole structure. So she basically was really giving praise to the judges and different persons associated with the court, lawyers and so, for their patience and everything like that,
Nice, wonderful. So what we're going to do as well is that, folks, remember there is a rebroadcast of Hard Talk. that will commence at 8 p.m. tonight via 89.5, and for our friends in Brooklyn via 94.9 from 10 p.m. So remember, there will be a rebroadcast in case you missed part of the Parliament, or you missed part of. In fact, I don't think we had the entire Parliament on Hard Talk this morning. We got in kind of late. So, due to no fault of our own, let me just put that on the record one time.
No fault of ours.
Yeah, due to no fault of ours. We got in kind of late on it this morning due to no fault of Hard Talk. Yeah, we're absolving ourselves, right? Yeah, on air, right? Nice. But we were able to bring the post-cabinet press briefing this morning. So you will hear the rebroadcast of that from 8 p.m. tonight, and that's via 89.5 CRFM, and from 10 p.m. for those of you in Brooklyn via 94.9 Noise Radio, the WeiVybz family. And we are also going to have it on the Hard Talk Facebook page and YouTube page. You can check both of them and get the information. As we say, some people have a listening versus comprehension and understanding problem. Because up to now, they're still attacking Sister Delma Thomas.
Still.
Yeah. Up to now, I've challenged several of them over the weekend. I've challenged them. Show me where she said what you're accusing her of saying. There's one particular person that in a corner, she just disappeared off her Facebook, Like she deactivated the account or blocked me, I see she gone,
Yeah, because they are doing things. They are so vicious in their comments and their attacks on the minister. It's unwarranted. They have no basis for it. In my view, they're just lying.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
But she's very resilient and she will do what she needs to do.
Hey, Devon, let's say a special good morning to Miss Helen Marie. She's having her band launch this Saturday. It's going to be taking place at the Lavo Lane, Lavo Lane, Birds of a Feather.
Yeah. They flock together?
Well, they're going to be really flocking together there, I'm telling you.
Good morning,
It's going to be taking place this Saturday. That's going to be at the Lavo Lane, so we look forward to that one. I live close by. So I'm going to try to make a pass by. I ain't about to drive that one. I could walk it.
You could walk that.
Yeah, I ain't had to burn no gas on that one. Nice, yeah.
Also, coming up on Mother's Day. Yes, May the 4th is the Queens in Concert. Yeah. Peter Bain and Associate and so the Mother's Day Queen Concert. Yeah, annual. Wow, don't miss it. Much more details will be coming out in terms of the Queen who will be participating, where they're from, and everything like that. So you'll get much more information as it comes around. But don't forget it. It's at the Victoria Park, Grenville, and so the Queens in Concert. Mothers at their best.
And the Brotherhood of St. George, remember the Anglican Church Brotherhood, they have that activity. It's going to be taking place on April 30th.
30th, that's a Tuesday.
And so it's not Shrove Tuesday, but it's on a Tuesday. And you're getting it going up until 2 p.m. Usually Shrove Tuesday, they usually finished at 12. But for the same price, if you've got your tickets from the Shrove Tuesday activity at the Fantasia, they were supposed to have earlier this year, you can use the same tickets and you can go to the Fantasia this Tuesday. Remember, the next day is Labor Day, May Day.
Labor Day,
so, you can go and so, you understand?
And
you can go and enjoy yourself. Yeah.
It's
a church.
It's a special,
yeah.
It's a special, so we go support.
Yeah, we have other activities coming up. St. David's constituency, they have their barbecue luncheon. That'll be taking place on the 3rd. Is that next week Friday, is it?
Yeah.
Next week Friday, the 3rd. And the time is from 12 p.m. Price only $10. On the menu, they've got a barbecue chicken, pork, or fish with a roll and salad at the constituency office grounds. So, you're heading up there. So, the St. David's constituency branch, they're having their luncheon. That's going to be taking place this Friday. And it's going to be barbecue chicken, pork, or fish, $12. Contact them, Or when you're passing through, you know where they are there in La Sagesse, you could pass through and you could just get your little barbecue and thing, you understand? Yeah, bus drivers, or you could pass and get all your lunch and thing there. Check Miss Felix. Tell Miss Felix Sheldon sell you, so if you was getting one piece of chicken, you might get two.
Yeah, she have a special, so she may just, introduce you to that special. And that special is whole, right? You call that the whole me special.
Yeah. Good morning to you, Tonia. Yes, good morning, dudes. Hope you're having a wonderful morning this morning. Pele is saying hog plum.
Yeah, vitamin C.
The highest source of vitamin C. There are claims that its vitamin C content is more than that of the West Indian cherry. Well, I ain't know now, man, but...
among that plum I eat.
No, you see, let me tell you, Devon. Understand me. The reason I can't eat certain things is because I eat too much of it when I was small.
Yes,
it's not that I never eat it, you know. It are two things in particular that doesn't pass my mouth. Hog plum and chenet/skinnup. That don't pass my mouth. I don't eat it. I fed up it. And long mango.
Long mango, yeah.
Those three.
Them three things I could understand.
Yeah, the long mango is more for the tready part. I hate it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
clean the teeth and that kind of
Yes.
thing. It's,
Just a thought.
it's not my favorite mango too.
Yeah. But as we mentioned that next week is Labor Day, interesting things happening in the labor front.
Yeah.
I was listening to the NDC morning program this morning, and I heard them totally turn on the union. Well, not that they was friends with the union anyway.
Anyways, yeah.
You see how opportunistic and hypocritical these individuals are? Myself and Devon, we've been consistent, huh? But you see how hypocritical and how inconsistent these individuals are. Because last year, after the general election, you had Dum Dum and friends cussing the unions. Oh, all you in the pocket of the new National Party, and all of this and all of that, they cuss, they carry on. Don't worry, go find the audio. Because they cuss the unions. Oh, the unions sell out for the NNP, and that's why NNP win 15 seats and blah, 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 blah. That is what I was getting on with. Then, when they wanted to see the union strike, in fact, let's take a phone call and we'll come back to that. We're leaving the union thing. We'll come back.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, good morning.
And how are you?
Good morning to
Quite
you, my dear.
fine. It's a long time I haven't heard your voice.
It's quite a while. I know the last time I saw you, you told me that I had abandoned you. So I just thought I'd call in this morning to say hello and hi.
Nice. Wow. Beautiful. How is St. David doing?
St. David's is good. St. David's is great. We have great weather. And you know that there are some projects that will be coming on shortly in St. David. So we're good. We're fine.
Well, not only shortly. I see all you take over a whole hillside there. I see the hillside just change.
It's buzzing. It's been buzzing. I tell you, even if you pass at night time, it's buzzing.
Yeah. I know that there was an unfortunate incident in St. David over the weekend. We say condolences to the family of that young man that lost his life at Malmont Beach.
Right. My condolences go out to the family too. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. But I don't know. People have to be very cautious. You know, like probably when they're consuming alcohol and getting in the sea. I know people are having fun, but they have to be very, very careful because a few years ago we had a mishap on Hope Beach also with somebody from Corinth, and you know, I was really, really surprised when I heard of that other incident there on Monday.
Yeah. And the thing is this is even if alcohol isn't involved, but people just have to be extra cautious when they at the ocean, because I've known of a young guy that died, alcohol wasn't involved, but you just have to be additionally careful. St. David's nice.
Careful, and you know, some of the beaches up here, you have to really know some of the beaches because about just over a month ago we had 2 incidents at Las Gesto. But I think the autopsy revealed different. It wasn't drowning. I think the person suffered a heart attack, but it was just like a couple days from each other. You know, but other than that, we're okay.
Beautiful. And how's the farming going?
They are great. They're great. Everybody's okay.
I know I'm looking for Dashin
my husband and I, we went in the land to do a little bit of walk this morning. We don't want the bush to overwhelm us, so we went down in the bottom. So you won't get some of the good stuff anyway.
Yeah, I know. I don't
know what you like.
I ain't worried. I know my bag does reach.
I ain't
so
saying
you
nothing.
and Devon have a great day.
All right, thank you
too,
so
my
very
dear.
much,
All
my
right.
dear. Tell your husband
Love
hello
you
for
all.
me.
Yes, tell
Tell your husband and your children. All of them.
All right. Okay.
The extended as well.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Take care.
That's a lady that she has the official children and the unofficial children. So when I say children, all of them, I know what I'm talking about. The official ones and the unofficial ones. Yeah, Devon, we're talking about the union situation.
Yeah.
Now, I've been listening to Lloyd and Lewis, LL. And all you know, we tell LL straight how we feel, and we make no apologies for anything that we've said. Yeah, we tell him straight how we feel. And it seems as though these days he's in a conciliatory tone. So he's asking for to meet with the government now, and so something that the government has been saying since last year. Come sit with us, let us discuss this. He is now looking at other proposals as a way forward, whereas the approach before was simply, that's what we want and that's what we want, and we're not changing off of that. But now it seems as though some reason has been pounded into his head, and I don't know if it has something to do with the new faces around him in the union. I don't know if it has something to do with that, or if he has done some soul searching recently.
I think perhaps it's a combination of both and more.
And you've also had him telling the teachers now that they're going to pull back on the not marking of the CPEA and the SBAs. Of course, he made that statement after the SBAs were already in. So it's kind of like after the fact that he's making that statement. Now, in other words, it's like you try something, it was a failure, and now you're coming back to make it look like you're the ones that caused it to happen. So, LL, we understand where you're trying. Yeah, you try a thing, he failed. You try to tell the teachers, do not mark the SBAs, and a significant number enough of the teachers did the SBAs. In fact, they came in from all the schools. And so, can't say that every single one came in. I'm not in the Ministry of Education, I don't know. But I know that from each school, they had the SBAs coming in. There was a bit of hold up because of the software they're using to load them, the internet connection to load them online for CXC, the samples that they have to send to them and so. But we do know that the attempt to stop the children from having their SBAs marked, and the response that came from the parents, because remember, he was saying to do this to children whose parents had paid, in some instances, thousands of dollars. And in fact, every instance, thousands of dollars. Because if you check bus money and lunch money every day, plus uniforms and books and other things, even with the book program, you're still talking over the period of time, the 5 years, that a child, if they go straight through, or if they had to spend extra, might be as much as 6 or more. But for the period of time that child took to get from Form 1 to Form 5 to be writing CXC exams, each parent would have invested in that child thousands of dollars. And here, at the cusp of that, you had an individual saying, derail it. So there's no way you could have expected to get the general public to support you on that one. There's no way, LL, you'd have gotten the general public to support you. You may have gotten one or two teachers who may think that there's something worth doing in being militant on that particular issue, not understanding what they were doing to the children and their parents. Yeah, so it was basically a failure. So now he comes back and he says in a conciliatory tone, well, we met and we tell the teachers. No, the teachers told you straight up they ain't doing it.
You see, Angela, no one wants to be responsible, right, for the disruption of our children's future, right, including LL, right? They don't want to be responsible for that. So good sense has prevailed, and at least there is some signs that the negotiations could be reopened, and so on. They're back to the table.
Yeah,
you know.
But that's good to understand, and it's not a case of, oh, he put his tail between his legs and this kind of thing.
No.
And it's nothing, because I've actually heard on the NDC program, NDCites saying that the workers should walk with toilet paper and stone their leadership. Stone the leadership of the unions. And they didn't just specify the teachers' union. They were actually telling the workers this morning, walk with toilet paper and stone the leadership. So in other words, they were proposing violence.
Since last night, the leadership of the unions and the general membership has been getting a beating from a particular co-host.
Me no friend with the union leadership.
So
when they do stupidness, I say they do stupidness. We ain't putting we mouth in bag to say they're doing stupidness. They do stupidness. But if they have opened the door to a more conciliatory form, I think every Grenadian should be happy. Yeah. But you see, there are these individuals that just want the country to be in a furor. They want uproar.
Yeah, they love chaos. And
they want CNN to pick up a story and say that Grenada in crisis.
Instability.
That you have the unions on the streets, because that's what they want. Remember, the same individuals who are on radio with their kind of Rwandan attitude, Rwandan genocidal attitude. Those individuals who are on radio with that right now, remember, post 2013 general elections, they were the ones that were leading protests through town, you know. Why didn't try protest again? They were the ones that were leading protests in town saying, come Louis, and I mean, to tell you how far the NDC had fallen, you had the leadership of the NDC in the background, you know.
Imagine that, hiding in the background.
Yeah, they had to wait for somebody else to call a protest and then join the protest. That couldn't be the new National Party. During the period 2008 to 2013, when you hear Dr. the Right Honorable Mitchell say, we go in and protest, he ain't in the back. He ain't in the middle of the thing. He's in the front. He's leading from the front. How it go, my brother?
Happy birthday.
It ain't reached yet, but happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. You're passing through?
I'm passing through. I was in St. Kitts a while. So.
Yeah. Well, I will call you.
Yes.
All right, man. Don't go far, you know. All right. Hey, hello. Yeah, it looked like he gone, man. And the thing is, man, I lose your number. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I lose your number, man. Yeah, I'm trying to find the number and I can't find it. Yeah. But anyhow, yeah, so if the unions are opening a more conciliatory tone, yeah, why should anyone be upset with that? If you love Grenada and you say you love Grenada, you would be happy.
Very happy.
To see that, okay, the teachers are going back to school and operating in a normal way that they operated for many years.
Mm-hmm. No confrontation.
You'd have been happy for that instead of being happy. But you see, when people not being directly affected by things, it's a hell of a thing, huh?
Yeah.
When they don't have their children in the government primary school or the government secondary school, when they don't have the children in that thing, it's a different kettle of fish, eh?
And when they don't have to work hard for the money to spend and to do what they need to do, they say anything and do anything, because it don't affect them.
Yeah.
You know?
So as I was saying, if you can't say that you love your country, and when something positive is happening, when the approach of the unions is, okay, maybe we have erred, or even if we have not erred, maybe we need to try and come to a solution. We cannot continue operating like that. We cannot end this final school term with teachers deciding they're not doing A, B, and C, with teachers deciding that, look, graduation, we ain't taking part in no graduation ceremony because it's not part of our job. We're not going to oversee the graduation ball because it's not part of our job. We can't go in, because remember, these memories last a lifetime with individuals. When you're 80-something, 90-something years old, even 100, you're remembering these things. And you're telling your children and your grandchildren.
Who it affected.
Yeah. So you don't want people to have a negative concept of the teachers in the future.
Think about it. Would you, as a teacher, right, or administrator within the the school system, be responsible for a child not graduating? I mean, in 2019, ball of 2019, right? After 5 hard, toiling years in school, now it's time for them to graduate and have fun. They can't. Would you, as a teacher, want to be responsible for that?
So when we hear Dum Dum and others upset with the unions because the unions wouldn't become part of their plan, because we've said we know that there's an unseen hand behind some of the actions of the unions. We know that there are meetings taking place and planning how to destabilize this country.
Using the unions.
We know that meetings are taking place trying to set things in place to drag the economy in the next direction. The economy of Grenada is growing, and you have individuals who will do whatever and however to stop the economy of Grenada from growing. Why? Not because they think that it's the only thing about it basically is that they believe that it's going to have some negative effect on the new national party. You realize the NDC doesn't talk about the economy.
They can't.
They can't talk about it in truth.
They can't.
You realize they don't talk about tourism.
They can't.
There are certain things that they just don't speak about.
Yeah, see.
And they can't speak about them. Yeah. Because when you look at the comparison, you say, okay, you take any 1 year of the NNP and put it against the 4.5 years of the NDC, and NDC gain licks right through. When it comes to the state of the economy,
I think you're stretching it. 1 year is...
Okay, take 6 months.
Yeah, between 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, of the new national party. Yeah. 3 to 6 months. And you put it up against the 4.5 years of the NDC, licks for the NDC and that.
Morning, former Prime Minister Tillman Thomas. I had a nice conversation with him this morning.
Uncle Tilly?
Yeah, Uncle Tilly.
Uncle Tilly stay in retirement, Papa?
Yeah.
Steady.
He decided. But you know, he always in a fighting mood, eh? But I think this time he decided to stay in retirement.
Relax yourself, tie out your sheep, spend your time home, read some book, even write a book. But stay out of this.
Because Uncle Tilly, you don't want to be coming up against persons like me, and so again.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
Yeah. Go and tie your sheep.
Yeah.
Stay home. Relax yourself. Take a nice look of walk.
Man,
do some yoga.
And you look pretty young too. And like he's keeping fit and everything.
Doing yoga.
You know? That's good.
Doing yoga.
Stay good, Uncle Tilly, and you have taken whatever you have taken away from NDC, and that's it. You can't give back anything.
So, we're saying that I hear the NDC speaking a lot about healthcare, and I wonder if it's the same party that was in power between 2008 and 2013 that's speaking about healthcare.
They should be ashamed to even mention healthcare.
The party where you used to have to go and Andre Donald and Anthony Boson, Honorable Anthony Boson, you start to go on radio and basically hold a radiothon just to get plaster of Paris for a child a handbrake in 2 places so that they could go to the private facility and get it, because you couldn't get plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris. You're going in Somalia in the middle of the desert and you're finding plaster of Paris. We did not have plaster of Paris here in Grenada. Nobody is saying that Grenada's healthcare service is perfect. Even the minister admits that there are challenges.
A lot of challenges.
And we're working towards overcoming those challenges.
You remember in 2010 or somewhere around there, I mean, we saw bodybuilders raising patients up to the operating room and back down.
Boy fellas from gym was applying
for work. You see, and them fellas was looking real good, eh?
The elevator wasn't working.
Elevator wasn't working.
You're going for surgery, you had to get some men to lift you up, bring you up.
You understand? Up the stairs and down the stairs. That was the state of our healthcare during 2008-2013. That was the kind of chaotic healthcare that we had. And so look at it now.
When you see these individuals now trying to give the impression that they are the receptacle of all knowledge and they know everything about everything,
you
have to wonder. And then they become a magnet now for people that are filled of hate. They become a magnet for people that are filled of hate. You see, what you give out is what you get in.
Yeah.
What you give out is what you get in. So you realize that these are some very hate-filled people. So you realize now that all the people that are filled of hate start to just come together into one grouping and organization.
Hate is a disease, you know.
Watch them carefully. And over the next year and a half, watch at some of the people who are suddenly showing up themselves as coming into the NDC. When you see them, ask yourselves, which of them are going there because they believe, A, and NDC members, you must do that too. A, they are coming into the NDC because they share the same philosophy as the National Democratic Congress. Ask yourselves that. Are these individuals coming into the NDC because they have the same philosophy as the NDC? And we're speaking here of the NDC of George Brizan,
Kenny Lal Singh, Finsley St. Louis, Francis Alexis, all right, former Prime Minister Tillman Thomas.
Yeah.
You know?
We're asking you to ask yourself, NDCites, ask you, because we know you're listening to the program. So it's not like, don't do like a little listening. All you listen every single day. Ask yourselves if the individuals who are coming into your organization are doing that because they are aligned with the philosophy and the policies of the National Democratic Congress, or they're doing that because they had a problem with Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell or somebody in the NNP, and they decide, no, I won't get back at them, but the only way to get back at them is to get them out of office. Ask yourself, Terence Forrester, he's putting himself forward and wants to become
leader of NDC.
Well, I don't know if he want to become leader or what angle he's looking at within the NDC. He said he's made himself available, him and his party. I don't know what kind of one-man party is this, but anyway, he said, I go in and register a party next week because like everybody could have a party. No, I could have one too. Yeah. I want to have my party and think I bring in DJ, all kind of thing in it.
Well,
yeah,
body party.
Yeah, that body party. I understand.
Or Dutch party. Remember Dutch party?
Dutch party, man. Yeah. It could even be a Spanish party and all. But so when you look at these individuals that are going into the NDC, ask yourselves, are these individuals genuine?
What are their intentions?
Yeah. Are they just coming there because they see the NDC as a weak political organization and it is easy for them to come into the NDC and just take over the organization and mold it into their own shape, form, and format? Is that what they're going into the NDC to do? Ask yourselves those questions. Foundation members of the NDC, look what's happening to you all right now when you all have general council. Some of you all could barely fill a bus in a constituency to go to a general council meeting.
And I say they have a garden party right now.
But serious thing, Devon, you have the NDC, the National Democratic Congress, a George Horatio Brizan, Nicholas Brafitt.
They are turning in their graves.
The NDC could barely fill a bus in some constituencies to go to a general council meeting. Well, they're afraid. They're afraid convention. They pushing convention back and back and back and back until convention might fall off of a cliff. Good morning, my brother Hinkson. Morning.
Hinkson, you're listening? Yeah, brother.
No, but we had to say it as it is, brother. We've got to say it as it is. So it's the NDC.
That's the longest time I've ever seen a convention take to up.
But NDC afraid to have convention. The NNP having a convention later this year. We having with General Council next month. You'll see what General Council is supposed to look like. You understand? We having our activities and so. Yeah, we're afraid to tell the media when we having we activity.
No.
Because we'll have a closed door and we'll have the open door. Yeah, unlike other people who hide in it like they're like Nicodemus. Yeah.
Only close doors.
Like Nicodemus.
Yeah. The only closing. I mean, come on. I thought that was a party of transparency and accountability and everything like that.
Right now they're moving like Nicodemus, I say. That's the Nicodemus party. That's what the NNDC stand for right now. Nicodemus. They hiding.
They hiding. But it's really, I mean, amazing to see what they are up to. I mean, right now they are about three different groups. One of the groups that is standing out is a group of haters. They are a group of persons aligned with the NDC who decide to do whatever it takes, right, to remove NNP by any means necessary. I don't know what is their objective, right? But they continue to hate not just on the NNP party but on the Grenadian people. And that is sad because they have nothing to offer. Give them an opportunity and they make mess of it. Understand? So,
but you see, Devon, and the key thing here though is that the present front line of the NDC are a bunch of weak, lazy losers.
Yeah.
Weak, lazy losers. Don't feel all you having all your meeting and all your strategizing and all your planning and all kind of thing. Don't feel people reading all your play. When all you have Claudette Joseph there attacking Gregory Bowen, we know she realized what taking place with her in tongue, so she looking to run up by Greg. We know that is what taking place. Enter Devon.
Mm-hmm.
We know that is what taking place. We know that you know what waiting for you in tongue as St. George. Yeah? We know what waiting for you. You know what waiting for you there. So you ain't want to go down and face Pedro again.
At all.
You ain't want to go and be paying bus for people between Tongue and Dabo again, getting them chocolate and saying Happy Valentine's. We know you want to go down that road again. We know you're afraid. So you want to go that direction. Yeah, you want to reach up in St. Paul's. So where's Sister Franca Bonadine? She retired from politics? You will not say hear from her?
A long time. But you know,
we go leave her alone because we understand the
but you know,
situation.
yes, somebody we can't leave alone, you know, because as soon as the Minister of Legal Affairs appear on a press conference, I notice our good friend is right there in our face.
I wonder which one is that.
Good morning, Tevin Andrew.
Who he? Boy, watch. Hey, Tevin, there's an young study, boy.
Good morning to you, sir.
Anyway, I'm done with that. There's an young study. Don't worry about what we talking about.
Yeah.
Every day with you is NNP. So don't worry about that.
And boss, you better be careful of those around you.
He don't run in again. Learn for the bishop guy to run there. And he knows that. So he ain't saying nothing. No.
So they pushing. So they really pushing.
The
out
bishop
all
guy from
people.
the bishop guy from up the road there, because he in the wrong camp.
Yeah, since last year, they were pushing.
But you see, and they don't like when we're speaking like this because we're exposing what is taking place in their organization, and they don't like that. But you see, as I said, they sent substandard candidates, including in Carriacou. They sent substandard candidates and expected the people of Grenada to accept the substandard candidates, simply because they said accept these substandard candidates. From the political leader down, substandard candidates that could not stand up. They send them. So what happened to them? All of them go down like bowling pin election day. And you know what? These individuals, instead of thinking of how to build their political organization into a proper political organization to challenge the new national party, waiting to see if there are any cracks in the armor of the new national party. They're waiting to beat the NNP, you know. They're waiting for the NNP to beat itself. So they keep looking for things. They're looking to see if this one go in or that one go in. They're looking to see who they could get from the NNP to come across. They're looking for the NNP to make some sorts of mistakes. That's what they're looking for. They're not saying, well, okay, head to head, idea to idea, performance to performance, we're going to take on the new national party at the next election. No. Instead of looking for that, they're looking to focus on how the NNP, the NNP fail in this, the NNP fail in that. And you know what's the bad part about it? They wouldn't admit where the NNP has been successful.
Well, they can't, because so much.
In Carriacou, they go in and they go in on the jetty in Harveyville. They board in the Osprey from down there. They see in the facility, a facility that was stopped under the National Democratic Congress. They go in down there. They take in the boat. And they wouldn't say, well, NNP do something for Carriacou, boy. On the south side, NNP do something for Carriacou. They wouldn't even go there. They wouldn't even go there. They wouldn't even say, well, okay, can I really send this person who ran for the NDC, can I send them to the United Nations to represent us? Well, I wonder, no. Send the little fella, the fella. Anyway, let me leave him alone.
Good morning, Honorable Kendra Matthew Stewart, and how are you this morning?
The NDC is a weak and lazy organization. They're lazy.
They have been.
They're lazy. And if I go into a political fight, I want a proper political fight. I want no weakling come and they beat them easy. I don't like that.
The leadership.
That is not me. Good morning, Kendra Matthew and Stewart. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day today. All right? Yes, darling.
And hey, congratulations to you, Minister. You have given a good account of yourself, right, in post-cabinet briefing, and continue to do the good work for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
And remember something, Minister, you are. Others want to be. You are and others want to be. Continue to serve the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique well. Right now we have the housing project going full speed ahead. You also have the that project there is, in fact, for Dumfries. For those of you in Carriacou, they're looking for a site manager for Dumfries, the dump site.
Yeah.
And they're also doing, at the same time, they're doing the initial work for the relocation of the airport in Carriacou as well. So Carriacou is on the up and up.
That is a big one.
Things are moving up for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique as well. Hey, Petit Martinique, the Whitsuntide. The Whitsuntide is coming up. Yes, Tony, I'll be heaven. The Whitsuntide is coming up. And you know they have the Whitsuntide Regatta out there in Petit Martinique. It's a nice one. Devon, if you can go. If you can make it the first time that you go to Petit Martinique, go this time. Yeah, go this time.
Seriously,
so you have lots of things that are taking place. And you see, continually, these individuals in the NDC, they don't like when we talk about them because we expose them. And the worst thing to do a cockroach is to turn the light on them. They just run. Anytime you turn the light on cockroach. I poor people children, I grew up in house with cockroach. Anytime you turn on the light, cockroaches run.
But you have two type of cockroach now, you know. You have one they call it German roach. That one in free light, you know. I wouldn't know it. That one in free light. That one they getting on like my good partner Glenn Noel.
Glenn, this guy wanted to take over as general secretary from until they shut him up and tell him, boy, behave yourself.
Yeah, you had to back off.
You had to back off. You had to go and cool yourself.
You had to go off.
Well, I have the support of 7 constituencies. Somebody calling me and they say, boy, I'm saying, boy, go and sit down. Go and move Glenn there.
But
you have to go and...
But young people within NDC have no chance of raising it. Every time they try to raise hair, they get chopped down. But then again, that's just the type of the leadership the organization have. Right? They see not the future.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but they seen something in the future. That's why they're afraid to call a convention. They're afraid.
They say, I know for sure they seen another 15,
Yeah.
As to whether he comes in the next 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. But they definitely seen.
They're afraid.
That big crystal ball they have in front of them there, they seen another 15.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. That is going to happen. Depot is saying they spend more time tearing down instead of building up their own. Throwing overboard instead of bringing others on board. A yellow strategy for disaster. A viable opposition is necessary, but visionless opponents will never be viable. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, that is true, you know. Yeah, you
So
have to
true.
understand that. You must understand that. We have roughly about 9 minutes remaining.
Yes, about 9 minutes of
9 minutes remaining.
Solid conversation.
Yeah.
Truthfulness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But NDC don't like to hear that. They're lazy.
No,
they're
they are.
lazy. And we said it. You remember what we used to call Nazenberg before the last general election? The lazy, lying leader.
And there's a lot of truth to that.
But there was more than truth. You see what happened election day? Boom. All man go down. Some man go down on their own weight. Some go down together with Nazim weight.
Yeah. And according to Depot, they always trying to tear down more than they trying to build. Look, for example, me. I mean, you're coming after somebody like me. I didn't run for election. You want to strip me naked in public. You want to, I mean, come on.
That is the mentality and the modus operandi of that political organization. Even to their own.
No class. The
Because
leadership
right now, I would like them to tell me that they did not approach the Governor General to remove the 2 youth senators.
Yeah. No, they won't answer that, yeah?
Tell me they didn't. I would like them to say that they did not approach Her Excellency to remove Ron Redhead and Karine James.
Wow, that's sad.
I would like the NDC to tell me that they had no intention of removing these 2 young people. Not that they have the right to remove them, but I would like them to say that they did not approach Her Excellency to remove these 2 young people from the Senate and replace them with the leader and deputy political leader. And I hear they was going for a 3rd position too, because they kind of wanted them to get rid of Glennis too, so they was actually going for a 3rd. They wanted to put in Glenn. They're still thinking that they could fit Glenn in there somehow and so on. Yeah? Tell us. Say that you all did not do that. Say that you all, the party that's been speaking about, oh, we so like youth. The party that said that they so like youth that their first action in office was to fire 2,000 and send them home.
Yep.
And don't feel those youth and them disappear from Grenada or they travel to China and stay there. They're here in Grenada still. And they remember what the NDC did to them. How could they ever trust an organization like that again? You see what happened to the youth minister that they had? Gelix by what, 800 this time?
Yeah. But you know what's amazing? After they were told, a couple of months or a month or 2 after that they will not be sent home. They were given assurance, right, that they will not be sent home. And so on. They were happy because they said, look, it's a government, and a government is continuum. And they expected that, but lo and behold, come at the end of 2008, over 2,000 of them were sent home.
And then you have this other one with them, the young Greenwich guy there, that keep talking about, the youth parliament under the NDC. The youth parliament did not start under the NDC. Emlyn Pear was in one of the first youth parliaments. The youth parliament has been around since the early 2000s, or maybe even before that, the youth parliament has been around. Yeah, Devon Roche passed through the youth parliament. Emlyn Pear passed through the youth parliament.
There's somebody else that
Several
passed,
others.
yeah.
Even Dum Dum himself passed through the youth parliament.
Dum passed
Many
through that,
individuals passed through. During the period 2006 going up to 2008, when we demitted office, you had a situation where we broke the youth parliament away from having it. And that time, the Honorable Emlyn Pear was then a senator and minister of youth. And we broke the youth parliament out from being just that one national event. We broke it out into parish basis. So you had the first St. David Youth Parliament. You had the first St. Andrew, the first Carriacou. You had the first St. Mark, the first St. John, the first St. Patrick, and the first town of St. George. You had one specifically for St. George and so on. So we broke it out into the different parishes and then culminated with the best debaters from each of them in a national youth parliament during Youth Month. We had changed it from Youth Week into Youth Month.
I was about to tell you
and
about
we
Youth Week.
pulled it up to around this time of year because the problem was when we had Youth Week, which was down in October, a lot of the activities ended up being rained out. No, but ended up being rained out because of the weather at that time. So we had sort of pulled Youth Month up to about March, April, somewhere around here. We had pulled Youth Month up to. So you had dry weather. You could have had all the activities and so. And that is how we did. So when I hear people saying about, NDC start, you don't, come on, man. If you don't know the history, you don't know the history. But don't go there playing like you know what you're talking about. Don't come there playing like you know what you're talking about. And they disappear now. Come, tell us about the removal of the 2 youth senators that the NDC have that are in parliament right now. Don't disappear. Tell us about that. Yeah? Did not thy political leader approach the Governor General?
Well, they're not thy political leader, you know. They're the interim acting deputy leader. Wow. That's a lot of accolades.
One minute he's interim.
One means acting.
De facto. Yeah, all kind of things. Again, lazy. You wouldn't work for something.
You see,
and now they vex now because they know that the doc, you know which doc, I know which doc. They know that the doc looking to come in. So right now, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, yeah, they are attempting to keep the doc out of their organization because they want him. They find if he come in, that is it for them.
Yeah.
Because they say when that doc come in, he cleaning the place
no, definitely.
out.
No nonsense,
all them substandard candidates and so on and caretakers gone.
Unacceptable to him.
Yeah, gone. But they want him because they say now, that is a man who could bring in financing, and right now, you know, the pocket kind of empty. But that is a man who could bring in the financing and assist them. So they want him to come in. Some individuals want him to come in, but others say, nah, boy, we can't take that man inside, boy.
I bust my toe the other day, you know, boy.
Bust your toe, boy? Yeah. I don't look out for your toes, boy.
Yeah, I look out for my toes. Be very careful. I'm getting
careful with
age,
your toe health, eh?
Yeah.
Toes is important. Yeah? Yeah. That is what they had to tell us about. But they ain't talking on them thing. They free.
They can't.
They free. They wouldn't have those discussions. Yeah. They wouldn't have those discussions because those discussions are too intellectual for them.
And they have made such a mess of something that was given to them by the Grenadian people. You see, when the people of Grenada trust you, right, with the leadership of the country, and you make a mess of it, you make a boo-boo of it, you don't get a chance again, you know, right? They don't give you another chance again. Dr. Mitchell, right, has been Prime Minister for Grenada for a number of years. Yes, he has admitted he has made mistakes. Government has made mistakes and error and everything, and accepted that. And so, but the Grenadian people understood, right, the type of leadership that Dr. Mitchell was bringing. That is why they re-elect him 15 seats, then 15 again. I mean, that's a message for the Grenadian people, right? Or even for NDC, another splinter political organization to take note of. You don't get the blessings of the Grenadian people like that. You have to show them that you are capable, you are honest, right? And you have the people at heart. I don't think they did that. They messed up.
You say people at heart. You have the people interest in mind. We go switch that statement.
Yes.
You have the people interested.
Oh, yes, we go switch that statement.
Yeah.
Because it's hard thing they are find, you know.
Oh, they really have heart. But you realize the next thing that they're doing now, though, to Devon, is that they're strategizing to eject all individuals who were attached to the NDC during the period 2008 to 2013. So you look from Carriacou, come down to Point Saline in South St. George.
You'll see the changes.
Which ones that you see are constituency caretakers and active now? Because we're not hearing about Sister Franca.
You're not.
Sister Franca, like she say, why me, I done with this thing. Like she done with it.
You're not.
So who were active as government ministers or even senior ranking people in the organization that's still around?
Yeah.
Well, Patrick Simmons'
gone.
days in politics done, because you even see Django trying, he start canvassing the constituency already to letting people know that he's the man taking over from.
Comrade Tricks more in the land. He turned on a farmer now, agriculture.
You're doing good.
Boss, you could make a lot of money there.
Uncle Tilly could tie his sheep and you could grow pumpkins. Steady. Yeah, all a good day. Nice. Yeah.
And
Leave
so
politics
and then,
alone.
You have I see Brother Naz back into his legal practice full-fledged now.
Yeah, steady.
Both him and the
But I wonder if he does go and represent poor people for free.
I do.
Everybody is paid, Jonah.
Why? I see he
I'll
and
tell you a lot about people.
The former Attorney General, they teamed up. Comrade Rohan, you understand? So they're better off doing what they do best in their practice and everything like that. Not politics.
Look at all the constituencies now. Point to one person who was a government minister during the period 2008 to 2013 that's still active in the NDC.
Not even
as a frontliner.
Not even the one in St. John's.
But I don't know. That man around?
I don't know.
I don't know if Alvin put a man on a boat, a slow boat to Panama. I don't know what happened. That man just disappeared.
I feel.
I don't even pass any man on the road, and I in St. John nearly twice, 3 times a week. I doesn't see.
You can't see him. What about our sister Anne up in the east of
but she was never part of the government structure as such. Yeah, she might have been BNTF. Yeah, getting a little $4,000 or $5,000 or so in BNTF. Yeah. Tell me, Alina. Yeah, a little $4,000 or $5,000 in BNTF. Take me to court. See what happens.
Brother Qualis is definitely on his way out. He give up the politics. And so because NDC was bleeding him.
Yeah, sit down in the gas station, man.
Pump gas. Make your money.
Pump gas.
You are good. You are a shrewd, good businessman.
That is one man in NDC doesn't vex when the price of gas go up.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. You are a shrewd businessman.
So he know in it.
Nah, he know in it. Who again?
Skip St. David.
Forget that. What about Brother Ray, although not part of the executive of the NDC, but
Church and Beach.
Oh, okay.
Beach table tennis. Table tennis.
He passing close by Silver Sands every day, you know.
Yeah.
He get taste for it.
Yeah. Church Beach table tennis. Church Beach table tennis. That's Brother Ray.
Yeah. Beach, Silver Sands Beach, and not just Grenada Beach, right by Silver Sands. I don't know his fixation on Silver Sands from ever since.
I see Brother Ali yesterday, Ali Dowden.
Yes.
I see him yesterday. Yeah, he looks well.
Yeah, he looks good.
Even though it seems as the NDC dump him, but he looks well. He's my little friend.
He looks alright. Yeah,
well, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, a very cool guy.
Nice
good morning to you, sir.
Nice. You'll be disrespectful already when you're saying certain thing, but we realize, the emotion does get over, and
And then we look at Carriacou. Well, I mean, Sister Kindra Matthew, you have taken care of a job well done. I know you'll continue to give Carriacou the representation that they so deserve.
It's all about the love, man.
It's all about the love.
It's all about the love.
Share the love. That's what LMP is all about, sharing the love. Some of you may not like the type of love that you get. You see, you get what you reap what you sow.
Where's our love in cards?
But it's always the love.
I don't play cards. Where's our love in cards? We're not taking our love in cards.
I take love in cards at all.
Wait,
table tennis and
we're taking our love in dominoes. Where's that?
Well, you don't make a point. The next team reach up to 6 and you don't make nothing.
Okay.
Ray Roberts will know a lot about love. He's a very good table tennis player.
But they will tell you table tennis, church and beach. That's all he does do. Table tennis, church and beach. All of a sudden they don't care about people again.
No.
All these people that used to be coming and knock your door and paying your light bill, water bill and all kind of thing and telling you NNP wicked. all of a sudden, all of them disappear.
They disappear.
So, brother, Ray ain't going around by nobody house in South St. George again.
He living in
Church,
Silver Sands.
beach, table tennis.
Yeah.
That is where he did.
And Silver Sands. I finally
Yeah.
leaving out the Silver Sands.
All the one in St. David and all kind of thing they passing the window up, them ain't going and check.
No,
No, still
them
vex with
ain't-
people because they get they get licks. They ain't
at
going
all.
and check nobody.
Oh, Sheldon, look at the time.
Yeah, watch, it's time for us to go. Folks, that's all the time we have. Elva! Oh, God, poor you, Elva. Anyway.
10 minutes was nice having you on the program.
Yeah, but folks, just remember, yeah, these individuals, they are not waiting to build an organization to beat the new National Party one-on-one in a general election.
Yeah.
They are hoping that the NNP collapse so that they can build on the rubble. In other words, they don't know about building, as Deepo said earlier. They know about destruction.
They like to pick up pieces, scatter the pieces and that kind of thing.
So whether
Destroy.
it be in Carriacou or Petit Martinique or it be in St. John or St. George, that is the way that the NDC operates. That's why you go see they running about who going and who going where and who resigning and who's stripping this and all this kind of nonsense that they're running up and down with. Continue to run up and down with it. No problem.
They always play
Because we know
confusion,
that's
eh?
what they have to focus on. We can speak about resigning and all kind of thing too, you know. Yeah. Tell us why Randall resigned, huh? Yes, because certain people didn't want to let him. Anyway. Folks, that's all the time. Folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here with you. And whatever you say and do it safe and secure. We will only be speaking to and with you.
Not about you.
Yeah, you are much. You're talking about the back and back, yeah. And this is keep back and back. Just now you go hear the convention is in 2021.
Go back on me, go back.
The fat was crowded and she was tight.